If you are unsure of who you are, that doesn't mean that you are a failure. Maybe you didn't take the time to discover who you are, who God created you to be. Your environment can have you believing that this is the kind of person you should be, what kind of person you should be. And you didn't take the time to figure out to discover who you are for yourself. Therefore, you go through life believing and operating under the influences of others just because you didn't take the time to discover who you are. But I have good news for you. It's never too late. You can start right here, right now. You can go on a self discovering journey to figure out who you are for yourself. And your life is about to change because trust me, once you discover who you are never going to go back to the person who you once was. You will never go back. Hello, beautiful people. What's up? And welcome to From Messy to Meaningful podcast. I am your host, Kenya. On this channel, I talk about self discovering and how you can develop into the best version of who God created you to be. So, if that is something that you like, then please join the family by subscribing to my YouTube channel. And please remember to turn on your notification bell. Please like, share, and subscribe. And I hope you enjoy this video. Discovering who you are. Step number one, honesty. You are going to ask yourself a question and then you are going to give yourself time to answer that question. You don't have to answer the question the same day, the same week, not even the same month. Because you know what? This is honesty. Maybe if you answer the question too soon that you ask yourself, the answer that you're going to come up with, it might not be your answer. It could be the answer that your parents said about you. It could be the answer that your friends said about you. It could be the answer that society said about you. It could even be the answer to someone else's question for themselves. So that's why you are going to take your time. You're going to give yourself time so that you can come up with the answer for you. And once you do that, once you give yourself time, you are going to dig deep. You're going to sit down with yourself. You're going to go over things and you're going to dig deep within yourself. And when you find that answer is going to be the truth and it's going to be your answer. It's not going to be someone else's answer. So you need to give yourself time and do not rush. Do not rush this process. It is very, very important to be completely honest with yourself. A lot of the times, we are not honest with ourselves. We give answers with the expecting that this is the answer someone else would want to hear. So, you are good. Sometimes people will, make their answers seem so polished and perfect because they don't want people to actually know the truth. But I'm telling you this, honesty is messy. The answer that you're looking for is not always going to be pretty. It's not always going to look good. It's not always going to make you feel good. But you know what? It is going to be the truth. And that is what you're looking for. You're looking for the truth because you're going on a self discovering journey. And how can you discover yourself if you're not honest with yourself? So that is step number one. Step number two, these are the questions that I am going to, for number two step, I'm going to give you some questions that you can ask yourself. Ask yourself this question. What part of you feels aligned and what parts of you feel forced? For example, the choices that you make on a daily basis, are those choices aligned with your integrity? Are those choices aligned with who you are? If in your workplace you have to make choices, are those choices aligned with you? Think about it. Think about what you're doing on a daily basis and the choices that you have to make. How about your behavior? How do you behave when you are with this group of people, when you are with friends, when you are with church, when you're at work? Think about how do you behave. Does your behavior align with your integrity? Does it align with who you are? Can you be honest? Do you have to do some shady things? Do you have to make shady choices just to please the boss, just to please the family, just to please the group? Do you have to do things that does not align with yourself? So think about it. So this is a journey, and it's a homework for you, where you're going to just sit down and start thinking. Like, you may be thinking, you know what, I have to be telling lies in all these meetings. When I go to meetings, I have to be telling lies. That doesn't align with my integrity. That doesn't align with who I am. So if you find yourself in the choices and the behavior that you're operating under, if you find that they are not aligned, they are forced, then you need to take a step back and now you need to correct it. If it, maybe you have to leave the situation, maybe you have to leave that job, maybe you have to leave that friendship, maybe you have to stop going out with friends, because you could be go out your behavior, you could be wasted and you're acting different. Maybe you have to start partying. So you have to think about all these things, like, are these things aligned with me? So you have decisions to make. And I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but if you want to discover who you are, then you have to stop pretending to be someone else. Because chances are, very, very high chances are, that discovering who you are is better than the person you are pretending to be. You may not see it right away, but eventually you will see it. Because a person can only pretend to be someone for so long. Because if God did not create you a certain way, and did not create you to behave that way, and did not create you to act that way, and did not create you to make those choices, sometimes it might be, probably, it might sound like it's too late, because sometimes you don't figure out these things until you're really old, and you don't want that to happen to you. So that's why I am here, I am making this video, so that it can help someone. Don't wait till it's too late. Don't wait till you're way past age. I mean, of course, a person can change um at any age, but you want to change and discover yourself sooner rather than later. Here is the next question. Are you your true authentic self, or are you forced to be someone else? You have to hide your true self, because you cannot let your family and your friends know your true self, because if they know, they may chances are they might reject you. So are you your true authentic self, or are you forced to be someone? For example, if you are from, said you're in a particular group, or can you dress the way you want to dress? Can you talk the way you want to talk? Can you, said if you're a religious person, you're a Christian, can you talk about your Christianity in that group? Can you talk about your walk with God? Think about it. Or are you forced? You might be like, okay, you know what? I grew up in this community. I see this happening. I see that happening. I don't want this for my life. I don't want to walk down that path. But cannot, you cannot say those things. You have to keep it inside you. Because if you open your mouth and said, you know what? I don't want this. This is not what I want for my life. Chances are people are going to start, you know, bash you, talk bad about you, who you think you are. Do you believe that you're better than us? You don't want to stay here? You want to elevate yourself in life. You are afraid to elevate yourself because not everyone is going to clap for you. Not everyone is going to support you. So you cannot be your true self. You might have different beliefs. You might believe in something different. You might believe something different from what you were taught growing up. But guess what? You have to shut your mouth, swallow that. You cannot talk about it. But this is something that I figure out. When God was creating us, He didn't create us the same. We are different. We are the same but different. And what that means, people have different likes and dislikes and tastes, and the way they want to articulate themselves in life. People are different that way. You might like the color I might like the color black, you might like purple. That's different. We're same humans, but we have different tastes. We have different things that we want to do. Your families might want you to be like, okay, I wanted to go in this field, in this career, but you'll be like, okay, but that's not what I want. But I dare you to be your true self and said, oh, I do not want this career. This is where I want to go. So those are the questions you have to ask yourself, because you're discovering who you are now. You cannot, it's very unfair, to be honest with you. It is very unfair to go through life living under the shadow and the expectation of someone else. It is very unfair. It is a waste. It is a waste of life. It's a waste of time. God created you to be you. He created you to be unique. He created you to have your own opinions. He created you to follow your path. Again, He's leading you. Don't go off on your own. Don't do your own thing. Let God lead you. So He created you to be uniquely you. And it is very unfair to go through life living for someone else and not yourself. It is very unfair to live till you're 70, 80, 90, and you never get a chance to discover yourself. You never get a chance to enjoy yourself. You never get a chance to enjoy you, because everything you do is for someone else. Whether it is for your parents, whether it is for the family, whether it is for the community, whether it is for society, whether it is for church, you never take the time to live for yourself. And I'm telling you, that is very unfair. And I don't want that for myself, and I don't want that for you. And I don't want it for my children either. I don't want that. So that's why I'm saying to you, you are going to do your homework, and you are going to take some time to discover who you are and start living for you, so that you can be happy. Now, people who don't live for themselves are not happy. They can seem happy, but they are really not happy because they're not living for themselves. Let's continue. The next question is, what brings you joy and what drains you? Are you drained when you are around a particular group of people? Do you feel drained at work, the lifestyle, your relationship? Does your partner drain you, or do they bring you joy? Ask yourself this question. Think about your work. Okay, you go to work, you have your assignment, but everyone is there, just keep on giving you more assignment, more assignment. Are you drained? Are you getting enough sleep? Are you getting enough rest because of the kind of work that you have? You have to think about that. You need your rest. You need time for yourself. So are you getting any form of joy out of work? Or all you get is just draining you? Okay. How about when you're around a certain group of people? Are you drained? Do they drain the life out of you? Do they just sit down and gossip, 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 and you are not that kind of person? Do they just sit down and talk bad about people, bad, 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 bad mouth people? You are not that kind of person, so it's just draining the life out of you. Or, there is no joy there, so they're draining you. Your family can drain you. Even your very own kids can drain you. Even your very own kids can drain you. Your partner, is your partner adding joy to your life, or all he or she is doing is just pulling from you, pulling from you, pulling from you? Analyze your life and think about those things. Think about a reservoir filled with water. And that reservoir, it supplies the community, and people are going to the reservoir every day to catch water for their personal use, for their animals, their plants, whatever it is. But there is no rain. There is no water going back into that reservoir. What do you believe is going to happen? Eventually, that reservoir is going to be dry, because the people drain out all the water. So it is going to be dry. Excuse me. So it is the same way with you. If you are being drained and nothing is going back into you, You are just being drained at work, at home, in relationships with friends, wherever. You're just being drained. Is that how you want to spend the rest of your life? Is that truly how you want to spend the rest of your life? So these are the questions that you're going to sit down, you're going to get a piece of paper and pen, and you are going to write down these things, because these things are important and they are important for you. That's why you are going to do this. Let's keep going. The next one is this: what feelings come up when you think about change in your life? Are you sad? Are you excited? Are you happy? Are you sad? After you ask yourself these questions, then you're going to ask yourself another question: why these things make me feel this way? Why am I feeling this way? For example, scared. Why are you scared? Are you scared because you don't want to lose control? Are you scared because you don't want to fail? Are you scared because you are afraid that people are going to laugh you, mock you, and make fun of you? Why are you scared? So that is the follow-up question. Because let me tell you something. It is normal to be sad when especially when something big in your life is changing. It's sad. It can be sad when certain changes happen in your life. But the thing is, you have to feel the sadness, but don't dwell in the sadness. Don't think about what you might be losing. Think about what you could potentially gain. Some people, for example, if you have this job, you live in this community or this province, this community, you have this job. It is so you're getting a stable income. So that is stability. But the community is not the safest neighborhood or community to live in. It's not the safest. So on one hand, you have stability, which is your job. So you don't want to lose that, but you're not safe. And what you have to do, you have to step out in faith and, like, you know what? I cannot stay in this community. It is not safe. So you have to step in faith and, like, I'm going to move. I'm going somewhere else. So don't think about, okay, man, I'm going to lose the stability of my job. So that is something that you can be scared and sad about. But think about, you know, the possibility of living somewhere better, living somewhere where you feel more safe, and somewhere where you feel more comfortable. And think about the possibility of having a job, getting a job with a better income. So don't think about what you might lose in. And again, when you make big changes in your life, be prepared to have some setback. Be prepared for things to not take off right away. Be prepared for your life to not launch immediately. It's going to take some time. Everything takes time. But don't look back. Don't be like Lot's wife. Don't look back. Keep focusing, keep moving forward, because if God promised you something, He is going to give it to you, because He said that His words shall not return to Him void. He said, like the rain and the snow comes down and water the land for vegetation, so is His word. So if God give you His word, just keep focusing on what you're doing, what He called you to do, where He called you to go, and keep going. He will answer you. He will answer. It is a must. It is a must. So don't be scared. And the situation, one more thing. I want listen to this. Your current situation might not look like what God promised. But if God promised it, He's gonna fulfill it. If God promised it, He is gonna fulfill it. It doesn't matter what your current situation look like right now. Trust and believe that God said He will. He is going to do it. Let's move on. Next one. What patterns you keep repeating in your life? Okay. So this one here, I'm going to be talking about myself. This what I'm about to say, this is I'm going to get vulnerable right now, but you know what? It is necessary because chances are, and I am hoping that it will help someone. So here it goes. Um my pattern. I've noticed, how should I start? I've always been in a relationship. If I get my heart break, my heart is broken, it doesn't take me long to move on to a next relationship. It doesn't take long. And the craziest thing about it is I am not relationship thirsty. I am maybe the one person or one of the I'm I'm gonna I'm probably one of the person who can live on this hurt for the rest of her life and not being in a relationship. I am not relationship thirsty. I am not that kind of person. So the question is, if you are not relationship thirsty, why is it you are never single? Why is it you are always from one relationship to the next relationship? It doesn't take long. Okay, so a few years ago, my relationship with God, start to develop. I start to know God because I know of God all my life, but I didn't know God. Because number one, when you know God, you don't go against God's words intentionally. You don't go jump into bed with a man when you know the word of God, when you know God, when you have a relationship with God, you know of God, yeah. Anyway, a few years ago, my relationship with God is taking a turn. I'm having a relationship with God. My life, our friendship, our communication, prayer, fasting, everything is growing. So as my relationship with God grows, my communication, I talk to him, he talk back to me. He showed me things, I ask him questions. He shows me things, he answer them. Okay. So now I realize my pattern. I realize the reason why I jump from relationship to relationship. Meaning I said I am not relationship thirsty, which is true. I can go without a man. I am good. So I realizes that that is my coping mechanism. So I didn't know what it's like to feel heartbreak, to feel pain from a heartbreak, because I never take the time to go through that heartbreak, go through that pain. I go around it. So I find myself in another relationship. And I'm like, okay. So a few years, so unfortunately, I had, I felt heartbreak because I, I recognize my patterns and I put a stoppage to my patterns. And because I put a stoppage to my patterns, I experienced heartbreak. And I didn't have anything. I didn't have a coping mechanism because I was never going back to where I came from. Like I said, when you discover who you are, you will not return. So, sisters, the pain was hard. I cry morning, noon, night. Morning, noon, night. Today I am okay. And tomorrow I am down. I am okay for 2 days. Day three, I'm down. I'm okay for a week. Next week, I'm down. It is painful. It's hard. It's hurting. But I decided I am going to go through it because now I know God. Knowing God allow me to know my self-worth, self-respect, self-value. So all of those things come under the umbrella from knowing God and having a relationship with God. So of course, this is probably actually, I'm not ashamed of this story. I really am not. What is there to be ashamed of? When you want to learn and grow in life. You cannot let shame and pride get in the way. Because if you let shame and pride get in the way, you will never grow. You will never learn. You will never discover. So don't let anything you did in your past hinder you from moving forward. Don't let it hinder you. Don't let it stop you. So this one here is very important. Like I said, discovering who you are is not always going to be pretty. It's going to be messy. This is messy. This is not nice. This is not nice. Something you want to discover about yourself, but it is the truth. It is the truth, and that's how I went through life, covering up my pain, covering up my scar. Then eventually, I figure out that's my defense mechanism, and now the well bursts, the dam bursts, and oh, the tears that flood, the feelings, everything just came flooding. Me, tough, me, me that don't cry unless something wrong with my kids, me bawling, bawling like there is no tomorrow. So I am saying this to you because I want you to discover your patterns. It could be good patterns, and sometimes, and good patterns, it could be good patterns, but you still want to make sure it is healthy patterns. So it's not necessarily discovering your pattern doesn't always mean that it's going to be a bad pattern. It may not be a bad pattern, but it's something that you should look out for to discover your patterns if you want to discover who you are. Okay, the next one is, and the last one. What kind of relationship um, nurtures the best versions of you? Is it family relationship, intimate relationship, romantic relationship, social and community relationships, professional relationships, and most importantly, relationships with yourself? So, a healthy relationship must have these core foundation: respect, emotionally safety, honesty, open communication, shared effort, boundaries respected, supportive, not draining. So this is your homework. I cannot do this. I cannot. You have to do this for yourself. So here's the homework. You are going to get a piece of paper again, and you are going to write down all the relationships that are in your life. I don't know what kind of relationship is in your life. Only you know. There are more relationships, more than these that I called. Spiritual relationships too. Oh, so many. So you're going to write down the relationships that is in your life. And you are going to analyze them one by one. And you are going to see if they have these core foundations. And maybe these are not the only, I'm sure these are not the only core foundations. I'm sure that you have things that is core to you. So you're going to analyze these relationship, and you're going to figure, um are these relationship respectful? Do they have emotional boundaries? Open communication, shared safety. And I believe open communication is very important. And the reason why it is very important, you don't want to be in a relationship that you cannot openly communicate and express yourself. You cannot express what you're feeling. There are so many times I have gone through my life and I was not able to communicate what I was feeling. And the reason why I wasn't able to communicate what I was feeling is because I don't want to hurt the next person's feeling. So because I don't want to hurt the next person's feelings, I end up hurting myself because I don't communicate what I'm feeling. I don't communicate what doesn't work for me. I don't communicate what's going on. It is Stop it. I've done it so that you don't have to do it. So that you don't have to do it. I've experienced it so that you don't have to experience it. So you need, these are important. Again, If you want to discover you and you want to live for you, or you want to live, and I believe, this is my opinion, it's not biblical, it's me. I believe that it's a dishonor to God to not live for yourself. When I said live for yourself, I mean, of course, live for God. I mean, be yourself. I believe it's not right. I believe it's a disservice because God created you uniquely, but you're not living uniquely for yourself because some people might think you're weird. Some people might think you just look ridiculous, but it's how you feel comfortable. It is who you are. And some people might think you're too bougie, but it's not that you're bougie, it's just who you are. It's just, oh, God creates you. There's nothing wrong with that. Come on, we are not robots. We are not supposed to look the same in the same uniform, act the same. We're supposed to have our own taste, our own experience, our own touch on life. You understand what I'm saying? I'm sure you do. So I'm saying to you, you need to do your own work because you are on a self discovering journey, and this journey is for you and you alone. And listen, there are some people, when after you do your homework and you evaluate these relationships, there are some people that you're going to be like, okay, look, listen, you cannot come any further. The journey with you stop right here, because where I'm going, you cannot come, because you are not going to stand in my way. So you cannot come. So there are some people, unfortunately, there are some people that you have to cut off to get to the next level. And there's some people you might take with you, if any. Who knows? Only you will know. And the only way you can know is if you sit down. And a matter of fact, you have to want this. This, what I'm saying, is not for everyone. It is really not for everyone. It is for the people who want to discover themselves. It's for the people who want a change. It's for the people who want to know who they are. It's for those people. It's not for everyone. Not everyone this is for. And it is okay. And it is okay. And before I close, I want to say, take your time. Don't rush this, because if you rush this, it might not be who you are. It might be you copying someone else. It might be you looking at your neighbor and saying, I should have that. I should do that. It might be you looking at social media, somebody, and saying, that's what I should do. So that's why you're not going to rush. Take your time. One of the things I believe is that don't make decisions when you are angry, because chances are you are going to make the wrong decision. Don't say things when you're upset. Chances are you are going to say the wrong thing. So the same thing, don't rush, because you do not want to end up with the wrong conclusion. That is really not you, it's someone else. Anyway, that's all I have to say today. I hope this video was inspiring, and I really hope that it helps someone. If you like this video, please share it and come back next week. We will continue on our journey as we discover life together, as we embrace life together, and as we glorify God together. Peace out.